Uzor Kalu's co-defendants are his firm, Slot Nigeria Limited, and Orji Uzor Kalu, who was Director of Finance and Account for the Abia State government during his tenure as governor from 1999 to 2007. Uzor Kalu was also sentenced to 10 years in prison. The judge had concluded the trial in August, and on October 22, both the prosecution and defense counsel adopted their written submissions before the court. The judge then reserved judgment to be delivered on December 5. Justice Mohammed also ordered the winding up of Kalu's company, Slot Nigeria Limited, the third defendant in the case, and its assets be sold and proceeds forfeited to the federal government. In his ruling, Justice Idris Mohammed said the prosecution established its case against the defendants beyond reasonable doubt, stressing the case was thoroughly investigated. He noted that Kalu failed in his obligation to his people and acted in breach to his oath of office, adding no evil deed will go unpunished. The prosecution claimed that 7.1 billion naira formed part of the funds illegally derived from the treasury of Abia State government, and it was converted into several bank drafts before they were paid into the said company's account. Prosecuting counsel said the ex-governor violated Section 17 subsection C of the Money Laundering Prohibition Act 2004 and was liable to be punished under Section 16 of the same act. Apart from the 7.1 billion naira which he was accused of laundering, the ex-governor and other defendants were also accused of receiving a total of 460 million naira allegedly stolen from the Abia State government treasury between July and December 2002. The prosecution said the breach Section 427 of the Criminal Code Act, Cap 77 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 1990. Speaking with newsmen, prosecution counsel Rotimi Jacobs lauded the judgment, saying it is victory for the good people of Abia State who have waited years for this verdict.
We have been on this battle since 2007. We filed this charge in July. You knew what we went through, how even the Federal Attorney General then, Andoka by name, Michael Andoka, attempted to frustrate this case and said that we could not file a charge against somebody who has just finished his office on account of fundamental right order that he got in his hometown. And we battled that for close to 8 years, going from High Court to Supreme Court over this matter. So, but thank God the battle ended today, at least in the court of first instance.
He also debunked allegations that members of the ruling All Progressives Congress are immune from conviction in cases of criminal allegations leveled against them.
For all the people, this is the number 4 governor that I handle and that we have been able to convict. So, and you will recall the last two governors that we convicted crossed to the APC. But the government did not give any instruction that their prosecution be stopped. So that is not a clean bill of health. Once you cross to the APC, then nobody will go against you. This is a manifestation of the fact that the government intends to fight corruption.
After sentencing, Orji Kalu and Orji Uzor Kalu were escorted by officers of the Nigerian Prison Service to the prison holding facility outside the court premises where they were admitted. Orji Uzor Kalu, a member of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, is a senator representing Abia North Senatorial District and the Senate's chief whip. Judith Renoir for Galaxy News, Lagos. All right, you're welcome back. And if you're just joining us, this is Democracy and the Rule of Law. All right, Barrister, you know.
Yes.
After years, 12 years, yeah. The case has been finally laid to rest in the court of first instance.
Yes.
His counsel has actually said they would appeal that particular judgment. But what was your reaction?
Yeah, well, my reaction is this. It's a bittersweet. And I'll tell you the sweet. The sweet is that Orji Kalu will spend Christmas in prison while we are at home eating chicken. And from there, we will know that criminal glories are temporal, and that if you have a case in court, face it. There's no point ducking and diving, because in the long run, justice will cut up with you. And the other switch is that the people of Abia State now know why they don't have pipe-borne water, why the roads in that state are not good. The other switch is that they will now be able to trace where their money has gone, if I'm right. But the bitter aspect is that how come it took, what sort of system will allow somebody, a criminal, to spend 12 good years playing is it Russia roulette, as we call it, hide and seek on the matter. And I've said this before, and I'm repeating it. If I'm here now, if I get home and I receive a letter from the police that somebody lost her mobile, and the person has given a description of someone who resembles me, the police wants to question me, bet me and you, the first thing I will do is to go to their police station and exonerate myself that, look, as at the time she lost her mobile, I was at Galaxy TV. If the police don't believe me, I will give them your number. They can't, because you are my potential witness. But if I have something to hide, tomorrow I'll go to Federal High Court Ikoyi, fundamental human right. The police must not arrest me from now till end of the heart because of this and that. And now, if eventually that court said, go and face your prosecution, don't come here, the first question prosecution will ask me is, why are you pleading guilty? I will say, because I'm innocent. And the prosecution will say, if you are so innocent, why didn't you meet the police when they call you? Because that's your first opportunity to exonerate yourself. And, you know, two roll into one. Let me tell you, there are about 19 former governors or politically exposed people who are either charged to court or facing investigation as we speak, including former governor of Lagos State, Ambody himself, Akpabio. It's a busload of them. And the good thing about this conviction, let's not don't disturb yourself about appeal. Let's just take each day as it comes. The day we are now is a convicted criminal. Whatever happened thereafter, we'll come back here to discuss that. But today, let's deal with it the way it is. Now, this is a testimony that, you see, Nigeria cannot be a safe haven to criminals. Because if you are not careful, some of them will go abroad and commit crime. They will rush to Nigeria, knowing fully our judicial system is not that user-friendly, it is drag on and on and on. And if you are not careful, that can affect investor confidence in coming to this country. So this is the right way to go.
Okay, Slot Nigeria Limited, the judge ordered should be wound up, its assets sold and forfeited to the federal government. I hear some argument which says this is a government which has been trying to create employment for its citizens, and as it is now, which his counsel did plead in court, many people are under the employ of this particular company. So what will become of them? What do you make of this case and what I just pointed out now?
All right, very well. First of all, I want to say that the conviction of Orji Uzor Kalu is a welcome development to the executive, because at least we have seen. Remember when Rotimi Jacobs, SAN, is saying there that we have convicted, that is we have convicted for and all that. He has forgotten that these people were actually charged under the previous administration. It's not this administration that charged them. They were charged to court under the previous administration. And then what they did was to jump to the current party, saying that, thinking that they will be excused. Unfortunately, that is not the case. We have seen Darie that was also convicted, and then this man now has been convicted. That's good news for the judiciary and the executive. But that is not all, and that also goes to debunk the the statement that the chairman of APC made, that once you come over to APC, your sins are forgiven. It has shown Nigerians that that statement was not actually true. So the court has the right. You see, when somebody is using fraud money to establish a company, an organization, and all that, those who are working, unfortunately, are innocent people working to ensure that they have their daily bread. But the money, the source of the establishment of that organization,
or the funds used,
that's what I'm saying. Okay. The funds, the source, the funds.
Arguments are he established this company actually before he became governor of that state.
Well, if it is established that that company was established before he became the governor of the state, it is not right for the court to wind up that company. What the court is supposed to do is to ask that any fund traced to that company be refunded to the federal government. You understand? Because if you charge somebody for stealing maybe 100 million naira, and then the person, before he stole the 100 million naira, had built a mansion 2013 and 2014, and now stole, you cannot go and seize this mansion that was built with another money. You have to pursue the source, I mean, where this other money has gone into. Okay. Trace it to wherever any organization or any company, any investment that he has made out of the proceeds of this money. And that is why the beautiful thing about this court system, we have the Court of Appeal. He is going on appeal, and we'll see what will happen. Severally, I don't believe that it was right for the court to wind up that company if the funds, or if the company was actually established before the man became the governor of Abia State. That is one. Then I want to add here that there are so many people saying that the man, being a senator, is going to continue to be a senator. I don't know where they got that.
I was actually going there. What becomes of his?
Yes, because we have it. They derive the authority from the Constitution. Section 66 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, has given the conditions or the qualifications and the disqualifications for you to become the senator or the House of Representative member. Now, one of the conditions or disqualifications is that if the person is convicted of any offense that involves dishonesty or fraud, that person cannot contest election as a senator or House of Representatives. Now, Section 68 of the same Constitution now says that, gives the conditions upon which somebody can vacate his office or his seat as a senator or House of Representatives. And one of the conditions is that if, after several other conditions are there, it now says that if an event occurs while he is still serving, that event occurs that would have disqualified him from contesting the election if he were not in the first instance, then he has to vacate his office. So what is the basis that some people are saying that the man cannot vacate, he's still a senator, and all that once you are senator, you are senator for life. There is no doubt that he will still answer the name senator. He had been a senator till date. He's a senator, but he can no longer go to the hallowed chamber of the legislature to canvass issues of making law and all that.
Except an appeal court says otherwise.
Beautiful. Once the appeal court sets aside this, and that it becomes a clean man. But if this sentence is confirmed by the Supreme Court, that man becomes ex-convict, and that is it. The answers are for life.
All right. Though you said we should take one day at a time, bask in the euphoria of this particular judgment. If, for instance, like the council has said, they're going to the Court of Appeal, when would he should be, expectedly, he should be in prison right now. So when will he leave prison if the Court of Appeal, is it when they institute a case or when the Court of Appeal gives a judgment? I
think what happened, I think my brother can correct me. Once they put in an appeal, then they can apply for bail pending an appeal. But they just need to satisfy their exceptional circumstances. That's all. The other point which you raised, which I'm concerned about, and my brother has tried as much as possible to address it, you said he established the company before becoming the governor, before he became the governor of that state. And then are you now saying because of that, fraud money was not even involved with the company? No, it doesn't work, because people can establish a company today, and by the time they get into a position of power, they use that company as a vehicle to launder money.
Let me move quickly. The company in question is actually is joined in this particular suit.
Yes, I agree. So the conviction is against the company and against the person. But what normally happened, to address the point that this company was set up a few years back, what normally, and I think he has mentioned that you do what is called tracing. That's it, to trace which aspect. But there is something which let me put it on the legal balance. There is what you call the Proceed of Crime Act. Under that Proceed of Crime Act, there is what you call confiscation proceedings. You get a convicted criminal has been convicted. Then there will be a confiscation hearing where the judge will determine this is what you should pay back.
All right.
So from it is that we deal with that issue you are concerned about. But my concern again is this issue of appeal. Don't forget, we've been through this before. Chief Bode George was convicted at the Lagos High Court. The Court of Appeal, I think, affirmed that, if I'm right, but the Supreme Court overturned it. What I want to hear said, because they are basking in the euphoria of this conviction now, and that statement by Rotimi Jacob, I think, is an understatement that if you join APC, this and that. But there are still some people who join APC and they've not been charged to court. Some of them were even made minister, and some of them, they discontinue proceedings against them. So in a nutshell, I want them, the prosecution now, to make sure that if this man appeal, they give it all what it takes and deal with that appeal, so that he won't be able to overturn this conviction.
All right, so